now our top shot is assembled, and we're all synced up, and we have the sensor bar on. Next thing we want to do is press the start button right next to the PS button, and that should take us to the main menu. When you see the reticle on the screen, you can use that to select menu items. Go ahead and put the reticle over the menu item and press the trigger to select it. If you can't see the reticle on the screen, you can just use the thumbstick to navigate and the X button to select. To adjust your controller settings, select Options from the main menu, then select Controls. The first thing we want to do when we're at the screen is make sure that the sensor bar position actually matches where the sensor bar is on the television. So if it says top, you want the sensor bar to be above the TV. If it says down, you want it to be under the TV. So something you never want to do is have the sensor bar position set to top when it's actually below, and vice versa. Now that you've adjusted your sensor bar and your sensor bar position setting, you want to check to see if your scope is aligned with the reticle on the screen. If there's still a misalignment, you can use the calibration function. To calibrate your Top Shot Elite, you want to set the use calibration to yes, and then you want to aim through the scope and shoot at the target in the upper left corner and the lower right. When you're all done, you should be able to see the reticle through the scope. If that didn't work, go ahead and give it another try. So a common problem that people run into when they're calibrating their Top Shot Elite is the cannot detect gun position message. If you're getting this message, the first thing you want to do is make sure you're standing at least 6 feet away from the screen. If you're still getting that message, a good tip is to remove the stock of the controller, and that should make it easier to look through the sight and aim at your targets. One important note about calibration is that you need to use the scope to calibrate. You won't be able to calibrate your Top Shot accurately if you only use the iron sights. If you're still having trouble, another tip is to hold the front of the controller still and move the back of it up and down. This should make it easy for you to hit your targets and still be plenty accurate to play the game. One thing to keep in mind when you're calibrating is that you calibrate for your specific spot. So if you move around in the room or you leave and come back, you might want to recalibrate. For additional support, visit the following sites.